Yo, what's going on, guys? I'm Moxon Fernape, and this is my team builder for Week 4 of Season 7 of the National Pokeball League Majors. This week I'm going up against Rob and his Gotham City Golurks. So definitely check out Rob, he's pretty cool. This is Rob Jr., not the same Rob from the Major PL, not the Poke Rob, but that Rob is also pretty cool and pretty fun in calls. But Rob Jr. here, who we are playing, is someone that I have played before. I played him in the minors in Season 2 when I was in the minors, when I took over for, I think, Jesse, when I took over that draft. I did play Robin, and I did beat him, and I think a 4-0, I think that was the score. But we were playing Rob here, and he's got a spooky team. It's pretty scary. It was really tough to prep for. This was such a weird matchup for me. I'll explain it more as I get in the building, and it doesn't seem so weird on the surface. It seems kind of good for me because my offensive mons deal kind of well with this team, but then his fat stuff, mainly Hippo, can deal with a lot of my offensive, like my fast offensive mons pretty well. Like, it can check Infernate decently well. I can run like Grass Knot or other cool techs like that, but then that kind of means I don't do quite as well versus offensive mons. And then like Zydoge gets checked pretty hard by Hippo as well as Jolteon. So this was a pretty tricky matchup in that game. But I'll just read off his team, put it on screen. So he has got the Victini, Thunderous Eye, Scizor, Hippowdon, Roserade, Jellicent, Florges, Azelf, Primeape, Zweilous, and Mega Sharpedo. So his team is pretty offensive. It's kind of balanced, kind of bulky offense in that realm. It can kind of work with both. Kind of be hyper offense too. Can't really be like super bulky and super fat. He's got like Florges, Hippo, Jelly, and Scizor, all of which can be defensive, and kind of Victini too, depending on how you want to play. But outside of that, none of his and Roserade, I guess, can be kind of defensive. But outside of that, he's got a very offensive team, and I mean, probably about half those mons could be, and probably usually are offensive. So he doesn't have a whole lot of defense on his team. He's got Hippo, and then like Jellicent and Florges. Those are the main defensive mons that are most of the time just purely defensive. And then Scizor, he's used defensively, but also kind of offensively, like with Sword Stance, but also with Roost. So his team's a little tricky to prep for, and this is the first time that I've done this, but I've built multiple teams and just kind of try to tackle this game in multiple different ways. My first thought and the first team that I built was a kind of gimmicky team. I'm not bringing it, and there was like a certain method or a certain strategy that I had with that team. I'm not going to say what it is though, because I might be using that in a later week versus another team, so I'm not going to show off that team or that method I had with that team just because I could use it later. But it just didn't quite work out versus Rob's team. I feel like it was a little too gimmicky and not reliable enough. But the team I'm bringing here it's pretty offensive. It's not like hyper offense. It's very much bulky offense. I have some offense here in Ape, Jolteon, and Zydoge, and then the rest are kind of bulky pivots in a way. Yeah, I feel like bulky pivots is the best way to put it, kind of. Because Venu is not really defensive, and Aloe is defensive, but you'll see, it's not like a normal defensive set. But anyway, so I'll just get into my team. So you can see my Infernape set here: Flare Blitz, Mach Punch, EQ, Fake Out. So enough speed to outspeed a Mega Sharpedo if he's creeping max speed Timatochicus. Although I think then that's actually, I think if no, I think that's 285 on his part, so then I'd be 286. But I think he needs to be 286. So at +1, he outspeeds max speed Timid Subwar. I believe that's what that's for. Just a little more, just in case. But I can be adamant versus him, which is cool. Mach Punch is really nice because that hits very hard, especially with my Iron Fist right here. Fire MZ boosts my Flare Blitz, which is nice to help me lure in the Hippo and potentially knock that thing out. If he wants to go into Jelly, that still takes a lot from his Z Flare Blitz, which is really nice. Fake Out plus Mach Punch is really nice though for his offensive mons, or the really speedy ones like Thunderous, which could set up, Azelf, which is faster than me, can also set up, or any Scarfers, like could be Azelf, could maybe Scarf Victini. I don't think Victini is going to be Scarfed, but you never know. I guess if Scizor has an agility or is Scarfed or something. But a lot of other Scarfed options. Fake Out's nice. I don't expect too many Scarfers though on his end. Although I did say that last week, and then Merc's Scarf Kabutops did do some work, so that was a little spooky. But Fake Out's also nice to help me with Sharpedo and Thunderous because, well, with my original Jolteon set, I changed it a bit. I was Life Orb on Jolteon, now I'm Expert Belt. But originally a T-Bolt from Jolteon to Thunderous would then put it in range of Fake Out plus Mach Punch from Ape. I think in HP Ice still does I think there's a role, but I think it does, if I recall correctly. But Fake Out plus Mach Punch allows me to get the chip on Thunderous that I need. I'm not running Rocks and Ape because I don't really find the room, so I'm not bringing any of my other rockers. So I don't have a Stealth Rocker this week. And Rocks are nice versus team for Thunderous and Victini, and he only has one T-Fogger and Scizor, and that's it. But I don't know, I feel like my rockers don't have good matchups as rockers. Like I thought about like Necro, but I wanted like Assault Vest on that and just help me take hits from Thunderous and the Rose Raid and stuff, but then, you know, I can't run Rocks, and that's kind of the point of me bringing it, and I don't know, I feel like just the Stealth Rock Necro, or Ape, or even Registeel just didn't work out too well this week. Also, one thing I forgot to say, so you see this Mon here, this Misdreavus, I made a transaction. So I dropped the Goat Lord, Rampardos. It saddens me to say, but I did drop Rampardos. I picked up Misdreavus. Now the reason I did that is because Misdreavus gives me a lot of cool things, and gives me a lot of roles that Rampardos didn't fill too many of. I mean, he was another rocker and a good wall breaker, but that's about it. And he was kind of slow, was another ground weakness, another fighting weakness, and I don't know, I feel like I didn't need those. And I do get some cool things with this guy here, this cool Ghost, because we do get a Ghost type. We lose a normal resist. We had 2 in Registeel and Rampardos. We do get a normal immunity, which is cool. We also get a ground immunity because you do Levitate. Or I'll just hop over to the set just so you can see the Mon and its stats and stuff. But we do get a Levitate and a Ghost type, as well as a knockoff bait, which is nice because Venu and Ape can shoot knockoff, especially because I'm Z-Ape, and Venu's Mega, and Venu's Fat, so we can take knockoffs. So knockoff bait is very fine on this team. It's really not a big deal. It's kind of good to have it. But also it does break the speed gap that I have. Breaks it a bit, not a whole lot, but it was at 8 from 108, or yeah, it was from Infernape at 108 to Togekiss at 80. Now it's 108 to 85, which breaks it a bit. Not a whole lot, but still helps it out a little bit. It's just a nice Mon. Also gives me a Taunter. That's a big thing. Taunt is really nice, and that's a big reason I picked up this guy here. Also gets Pain Split and other cool techs. But let me go into this Misdreavus set. So Taunt, Memento, Will-O-Wisp, and Hex. So Taunt is nice to shut down Hippo because he might run Toxic. Well, I mean, I can taunt him on the Toxic and not allow him to hit me, but Hippo is just really annoying for my team, and like it kind of shuts down my offensive Mons, or at least limits them. So Misdreavus is a nice check to that, and I can taunt and then probably go for Suicide, or well, later in game I can go for the Suicide here because that'll drop his attacks, or drop his attacking stats, and I can bring in Zydoge and set up. I'll go to that set in a bit. I don't know how I'm doing this. I went really out of order because I wanted to talk about the transaction, but whatever. Will-O-Wisp is nice to burn Hippo, as well as possibly burn Sharpedo on the switch in if he wants to make an aggressive switch in, and Sharpedo predicting a Hex or something. But also Hex is just nice with Will-O-Wisp because I can do more damage and it's not much weaker than Shadow Ball anyways. But originally I was Mean Luck on this set instead of Memento, so I could Mean Luck and Taunt and just trap the Hippo and just kill it. But realistically, I don't think I'll be able to trap him and Taunt. I think maybe on the turn that I click Mean Luck, he'll click Roar, or Whirlwind. It doesn't really matter. He gets both. They do the same thing. But I think he'll click Roar on that turn, because if I Taunt him, or if I Mean Luck, well, I mean, okay, the only scenario that could work out is if Misdreavus is brought in, like, if I make a double, and then he brings in Hippo, so Misdreavus is inverse Hippo, and he thinks he can just set up rocks, and I can Taunt. Well, if I taunt him and he doesn't have anything to hit me, then he just probably switch out. So, like, I don't think Mean Look would really work to trap it and kill it and do everything I need it to do. So I would need to click Mean Look first turn, I guess, as he goes for rocks, and then I can taunt him, but I don't think he stayed in if he doesn't have anything to hit me. So, I don't know, that's why I don't think it's super good to trap it and kill it, because I don't think I'll be able to do that. But I can sack off this guy and then bring in probably Zydoge and setup, or just bring in Ape, or Jolteon, or whatever, and then that allows me to put some pressure on his team. But I'll go to my Zydoge set, I guess, since I'm talking about setup and talking about Zydoge. But we have EQ, E-Speed, Stone Edge, and Coil. So running a Muscle Band just because I just want to boost my attack a bit, just boost it by 1.1. I don't really need, or not that I don't need, but I don't want a Life Orb because I don't want to get weakened down. I like the power that I get from it, but I just don't want to get weakened down. And I don't want an Expert Belt. Not that I don't want it, but like, it just doesn't help me a whole lot because I only hit not a lot of his mons super effectively. I forget the amount, but not really many because I have E-Speed, and then EQ is just very spammable. I don't need arrows versus teams. Only got Thundurus and Azelf that are off the ground, and Thundurus I can hit with Stone Edge, and then Azelf I can still hit pretty out with an E-Speed or a Stone Edge if I need to. So Coil, instead of Dragon Dance, because that raises my accuracy and my defense, mainly the defense. But Coil is nice because that allows me to potentially set up on Hippo, especially if he's taunted. I can set up on it, that way he can't phase me out. But Coil is nice, so I can also set up on Scizor, and I guess if he's like Banded Victini, or Physical Victini, I can set up on that. It's just nice to boost my defense, and then I can take a hit, or maybe take a hit from Sharpedo. Although, if he has Ice Wing, then I still probably can't, +1, but still, I can Coil, and it's cool. I have Stone Edge over Rock Slide. I really debated this for a while. I feel like I do need the power from Stone Edge. At +1, Stone Edge is guaranteed to knock out Thundurus. Rock Slide's a roll. It's about 80%, so you could say, you know, there's an 80% chance of me hitting Stone Edge, but then about an 80% chance of that roll. But then I could also miss my Rock Slides, like that kind of lowers it. So, I don't know, I feel like Stone Edge is a little better, though. If I miss Stone Edge, I'll be sad, but I don't know. I just didn't really want Rock Slide. I feel like I need Stone Edge. If I can Coil, then my Stone Edge is 100% accurate, but this thing is probably going to be my Heart Switch into Thundurus. It's probably originally going to be Jolteon, though, because I don't want to miss a Stone Edge with this if I don't have to. I mean, we'll see what the team matchup is. But, let me go over to this, the Spadef first, actually, because the Spadef's pretty important. That is so I can live a, what is it? Shadowed Psyche. Yeah, that's what the Psychic Z move is. So I can live a Shadowed Psyche from Thundurus after I take Stealth Rocks. It's just really cool. I can switch it in, take a hit, and we're looking good. Then I can outspeed and click Stone Edge. Or if he clicks Agility on the switch, and I take Rocks on the switch, then I can still live a Shadowed Psyche, which is nice, and then fire back with the Stone Edge, hopefully hit. I'm really hoping I hit the Stone Edge. It'd be kind of karma if I do miss, so honestly I can't be super upset if I do. But like, I don't know. Maybe I might get it in a situation where I need Rock Slide, but I think Stone Edge is okay, because I don't know. It's a little tough, because like, I don't want to bring Rock Slide but not have the power to kill something, or even bring Rock Slide and miss. Then I'll be even saltier. But then like, I don't want to bring Stone Edge and miss, because then I'll just think, oh, I should have brought Rock Slide, but like I can miss too, so I don't know. The speed is just for max speed. The speed is for, no, if Thundurus is creeping Infernape, like I think he will. That way I can run the Spadef that I need to run and then not lose too much in my attack and still be almost max. Because I want the Spadef. I want to be able to take a Shattered Psyche from Thundurus, because I think that is a realistic situation. And I think he will go Psyche MZ this game. I don't think he'll go Electro MZ. Razor did bring Electro MZ with his Thundurus T, but I feel like based on the matchup and what I'm more likely to bring, I feel like Psyche MZ from his end makes a little more sense than Electro MZ. But I'm not sure. We'll see on that. This Teambuilder's taking longer than I wanted to. It's kind of long, but whatever. I'll keep going. I guess I'm already on Jolteon, so I'll just show the set. So we got T-Bolt, HP Ice, Magnet Rise, and Shadow Ball, holding an Expert Belt, no speed to outspeed. Oh, we still have some EVs left, right. I was gonna calc and do something. Right, I'll just throw him in defense for now. I might change it, but I think that's fine. I was gonna calc and see if I could use those defensive EVs that I have left over to do something, but I'll just keep that for now. Might make a change before the game. Anyways, so the speed is to outspeed, max speed Azelf, this thing outspeeds everything on his team, barring Scarfers, which is really cool. T-Bolt and HP Ice hit most of his team. Shadow Ball allows me to hit Victini harder, which is nice, because Expert Belt, Shadow Ball does more than Life Orb Thunderbolt, which is really nice, and with an Expert Belt, I hit, or not with the Expert Belt, but with his coverage, then getting boosted by the Expert Belt, I hit, I think, 8 of his mons super effectively. The only 3 that I don't hit are Scizor, Florges, and Primeape, and I don't expect 2 of those 3 to come. I don't think Primeape or Florges are coming, or Zweilous. Zweilous I sort of could see coming, like, just like as like a weird mon in the back, you know, like that, like last drafted mon, or I guess second last, but like second last drafted mon on his team that he's gonna bring, because like, it's weird, but it could have a good matchup. But I don't expect it. I don't expect Zweilous. But like, I don't expect Primeape or Florges even more, because I just don't think they do enough. Like, there's that point in the matchup where like, a mon that's like kind of weird in the back, but like you have to prep for it, but like you can't prep for it because he's other scary mons, and then like he could bring that mon in the back, and Zweilous could sort of be that mon, but I don't think Primeape or Florges even do that role. Like, I don't think they're gonna do that well if I don't prep for it, because my team just deals with them naturally. And I don't know, if he brings Florges, I expect maybe like a speedy set with Life Orb to try to be a lure for my Venu or something, but I don't know. The other 8, I expect any combination of those other 8. It's hard to say exactly which 6, but any combination of those other 8, I'm just going to say. But yeah, Magnet Rise, that's the main thing I want to talk about in the set. Magnet Rise is a cool lure for Hippo that allows me to, probably not Magnet Rise on the switch, and probably just Magnet Rise as I'm up against Hippo. I can Magnet Rise as he clicks Earthquake, and then I can HP Ice and do a good chunk. Not quite 2 KO, you could roar me out into something, but that's okay, because I'll weaken you down, and you'll have to roar. You have to be, or you're not going to be super healthy when you do click roar though, because, you know, you'll have to take a hit first. So that is the plan there. But I'm not going to Magnet Rise the first chance that I see it, probably, because he'll probably want to set up rocks the first time that he brings in Hippo. But that's what Jolteon said there. Hopefully Mischievous can taunt and, not trap, but just deal with Hippo and just weaken down Hippo and just make it not quite as annoying, not as good of a wall in this game, because Hippo's annoying and fat, and hopefully Mischievous and Jolteon can do their jobs to weaken it down so Zydoge can win. But the main win cons in this game are Jolteon and Zydoge. The double dog core is going to get us to victory, hopefully. But next, let's go to my tree here, my Venusaur. So this is an offensive Mega Venusaur, Sludge Bomb, Giga Drain, HP Fire Sub. So this Spadef is so I think don't get, what was that for? Was it for Victini? No. Oh, it's so we don't get Oka by Life Orb Psychic from Azelf, I think. I believe that's it. I don't think Life Orb Slash Shock should either, because that's weaker. But, yeah, I think Life Orb Psychic. Yeah, Spadef's the way to live a Life Orb Psychic from Azelf. Right. Not after rocks, just in general, because then I need a last Spadef, and I want to hit hard. But this is a modest Venusaur, telling to hit hard. It's a pretty nice wall breaker versus team, because all of his defensive mons, Jellicent, Hippo, Scizor, and then Florges too, just get hit hard by Venu. Venu's a good wall breaker in this game. You know, I can't run like a Life Orb or anything, cause, you know, I'm a Mega, but I can still be modest, and with my base 122 special attack, I can hit pretty hard, and I can set up a sub on things like Jellicent and possibly Hippo. EQ does break my sub. I need to go like max defense for it to not break my sub, and I just don't want to do that, because I want to be offensive. But still, I can set up a sub like on a switch into Victini or something, and then take a hit, go for a Sludge Bomb, and then do a good chunk of damage, and then maybe switch out into Aloe, or just play from there. But sub's just a nice tech, especially I can get back health from my stab, grass move there, and Giga Drain. It's also pretty cool because my HP stat naturally isn't super high. Base 80 is like okay, but it's not like really good or like really high. Jellicent has a good HP stat as well as Hippo. Actually, I don't think Florges does, but I'm not clicking Giga Drain versus that. Anyways, but those two fat things that are weak to grass have a pretty high HP stat, so I can get back a good amount of health from Giga Drain versus them, which is pretty nice. Let me show my Aloe set last. This was a really weird order. I don't know what I did. But Magikarp, Knockoff, Wake Up, Slap, and Healing Wish. Weirdest combination of moves, as well as the eject button. This is a weird Aloe. Brought Aloe, or this is my second time bringing Aloe, so after this game I will have brought it twice. Both times, weird Aloe sets. And I'm probably not going to run Aloe conventionally too much, just because that is passive, and this Aloe is made not to be passive versus things that I need it not to be passive against. So, Magikarp does give me a way of potentially getting up hazards. Either versus Raid, who could set up spikes, I can Magikarp, and then also versus Azelf or Hippo, if I can get Aloe in, I can set up a Magikarp as they go for rocks potentially. But knockoff hits stuff like Jellicent, allows him not to just wall me. I don't 2KO, but like I can get rid of his lefties or whatever item he's rocking, and I can do a decent amount of damage. As well as I can also knock off Hippo's lefties, or maybe Rindo, possibly. Wake Up Slap is there for mainly the Sharpedo, just like something to hit it, and then that allows me to put it in range of 8 with either Fake Out plus Mach Punch, or just Mach Punch, or in E-Speed range from Zydoge too. Healing Wish is meant to heal up pretty much anything on my team, not running any recovery at all, I don't think. No, I'm not. I'm in Giga Drain on Venu, but that's not recovery. But Healing Wish can just heal up a Mon, and not really certain what Mon it could be used on. Really anything, potentially. Possibly Zydoge if it is low, or really just anything. But that's the cool thing about this team. But let me actually go over the eject button. So this is a cool item, and it's really nice with the set and versus team. So it works really well because I can take a hit, pivot, and I can bring in something that scares his team, like Infernape, Zydoge, Jolteon. They all are scary offensively. Now, the really cool thing about eject button is if he goes for U-turn, so let's say I switch it in against Victini, who goes for U-turn, or Scizor, or Azelf, then actually, so I'll take the hit, but I'll get a switch out, and then they won't get a switch out, so they'll stay in. So then if he goes for U-turn with like Scizor, then I can take it with Aloe, and it'll do a chunk, but then I'll be able to get 30% back from my from this here, my regenerator. But then I can bring in Infernape, and then, you know, apply pressure right there, or bring in Jolteon or whatever I want to do in that situation. But this is really nice, so I can take a hit, but then I'll heal back 30%, and then, you know, Ella will be healthier when I bring it back in. And that's the plan. That's how I'm playing this. This is a kind of bulky offense team. I feel like bulky offense is the way to put it, because even Mischievous can do some damage or just weaken stuff down and be really cool. So 2 suicide moves, one on Mischievous, one on Aloe. Healing Wish is just nice just for the team in general. Magic Coat is nice, except for lead with this, which I might. But if I lead against Roserade, I can go for Magic Coat, because even if there's no point in really going for anything else, because if he goes for Energy Ball or something and does some damage, then you know, I'm going to be switching out anyways, because my item here, I'm not even going to get 2 attacks, so I might as well just Magic Coat, which shows that priority. So that's really cool. But the Spadef is, so I wanted to invest so that Torpedo does not 2KO me with Crunch, and so that Roserade does not OHKO me with a Life Orb Energy Ball. I could not do both, but this spread here allows me to, I believe, have a pretty good chance of doing both those. Or at least I think I'm guaranteed to live an Energy Ball from Roserade. I think that's what I opted to do. Then I still have a good amount of defense to take crunches from Torpedo. It's not gonna, or I think it's a roll to 2KO me. I think it's slightly in his favor, but it's okay, because Aloe can just be a pivot and then bring an Ape or Jolteon and something, and it can be really cool. But that's the team there. So this is a weird matchup, as I said. It was a tough one, but I think this team's gonna do well. I've not done the battle yet. I'm gonna do another live com like I've been doing. I'm just gonna keep that going. Hopefully we can stay undefeated. We're actually the last undefeated team, because Gypsy lost to Cheese last week. Cheese just played really well, and Gypsy took the L. That rhymed. But Gypsy's gonna bounce back. He's a beast. And then Rizzy Pow did lose to Trev CL, because Rizzy Pow is Rizzy Pow. Anyways, I will see you guys with the battle. I'll go up tomorrow. But yeah.